Hello everyone, and welcome back to English Paper. I'm your host Alex, and I am so happy that you are joining me today. Before we begin, I would like to ask you for a small favor. If you enjoy learning English through simple and interesting podcasts like this one, please subscribe to the English Paper channel. Give this video a like and leave a comment below. Your support helps this channel grow and allows us to create more free English learning content for learners around the world. Now take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin today's episode. Today's topic is the importance of time management. This is one of the most valuable life skills that anyone can learn. Whether you are a student, an employee, a business owner, a parent, or someone who is simply trying to improve their life, time management affects everything you do. Many people believe that successful people have more time than everyone else. However, that is not true. Every person on Earth has exactly 24 hours in a day. A famous business leader has 24 hours. A university student has 24 hours. A teacher has 24 hours. Even the richest person in the world has only 24 hours every day. The difference is not the amount of time they have. The difference is how they choose to use it. Time is different from money. If you lose money, you can earn it again. If you lose your phone, you can buy another one. If your clothes become old, you can replace them. However, if you lose 1 hour, you can never get that hour back. It has disappeared forever. This is why many people say that time is more valuable than money. Money comes and goes, but time only moves in one direction. Every second that passes becomes part of the past. Because of this, learning to manage your time is one of the greatest investments you can make in yourself. Have you ever reached the end of the day and wondered where all your time went? Perhaps you woke up with many plans. Maybe you wanted to study English, complete your homework, clean your room, exercise, and read a book. But suddenly it became evening and you realized that you had completed almost nothing. This happens to many people. Sometimes we are busy all day, but being busy does not always mean being productive. There is a big difference between activity and achievement. You can spend hours moving from one task to another without making real progress. Good time management helps us focus on activities that truly matter. One reason people struggle with time management is that they underestimate how quickly time passes. Imagine you decide to watch one short video online. The video lasts only 5 minutes, so you think it will not affect your day. After that video ends, another interesting video appears. Then another one begins automatically. Before you realize it, 1 whole hour has passed. You may even forget what the first video was about. This happens because modern technology is designed to capture our attention. There is nothing wrong with enjoying entertainment, but we should be careful that entertainment does not control our schedule. Another common challenge is procrastination. Procrastination means delaying or postponing something that you know you should do. Almost everyone procrastinates sometimes. A student may delay studying for an important exam. An employee may postpone writing an important report. Someone may decide to start exercising tomorrow instead of today. The problem is that tomorrow often becomes next week, next month, or even next year. The longer we wait, the more difficult the task seems to become. Many people think they are avoiding stress by delaying their work, but in reality, they create even more stress because the deadline continues to get closer. Why do people procrastinate? There are many reasons. Sometimes we feel afraid of making mistakes. Sometimes the task seems too difficult or too boring. Sometimes we simply do not know where to begin. Our brain naturally prefers activities that give us immediate pleasure instead of activities that provide long-term rewards. Watching videos, playing games, or scrolling through social media often feels easier than studying or working. However, every small decision shapes our future. Choosing to spend 1 hour learning a new skill may not seem exciting today, but after 1 year, that decision can completely change your life. Let's imagine two friends named David and Michael. They are both university students. They attend the same classes, have similar intelligence, and even use the same textbooks. David creates a simple study schedule. Every evening, he studies for 1 hour, reviews his notes, and prepares for the next day's lessons. Michael tells himself that he studies better under pressure. Instead of studying a little every day, he waits until the night before the exam. When the exam arrives, David feels calm because he has prepared for weeks. Michael feels nervous because he has too much information to learn in a short time. Although both students had the same amount of time, they achieved different results because they managed their time differently. Time management is not about filling every minute with work. Some people believe that successful people never rest, but this is not true. Rest is also an important part of good time management. Our minds need time to recover. When we sleep well, our brain stores memories more effectively. When we take short breaks during work or study, we often return with better focus and more energy. In other words, working smarter is usually more effective than simply working longer. Many successful people follow daily routines. A routine is simply a series of habits that you repeat every day. When you have a routine, you spend less time deciding what to do next. For example, you might wake up at the same time every morning, drink a glass of water, exercise for 20 minutes, eat breakfast, and then begin your work or studies. These small habits create structure in your life. They reduce confusion and help you make steady progress toward your goals. You may have heard the saying, "Small steps every day lead to big results." This saying is especially true when it comes to time management. Imagine reading only 10 pages of a book every day. At first, 10 pages may not seem like much. However, after 1 month, you may have finished 300 pages. After 1 year, you could complete many books. The same idea applies to learning English. If you practice listening for just 20 minutes every day, your improvement after 1 year will be much greater than someone who studies only once a month for several hours. Another important lesson about time management is learning to say no. Many people become overwhelmed because they agree to everything. A friend asks for help, another person invites them somewhere, someone else requests a favor. While helping others is important, constantly saying yes can leave you with no time for your own responsibilities. Learning to politely decline some requests is not selfish, it is a way of protecting your priorities. Every time you say yes to one activity, you are also saying no to something else. Therefore, choose your commitments carefully. It is also helpful to understand the difference between urgent tasks and important tasks. An urgent task demands immediate attention, such as answering an emergency phone call or meeting a deadline that is only a few hours away. An important task helps you build a better future, such as learning English, exercising regularly, reading educational books, or improving your professional skills. The problem is that important tasks often do not feel urgent, so people postpone them. Months later, they wonder why they have not achieved their goals. Successful people make time for important activities before they become urgent problems. As we continue today's discussion, I want you to think about your own daily routine. How do you spend your mornings? How much time do you spend on your phone? How many hours do you spend learning something new? There are no right or wrong answers. The purpose is simply to become more aware of how you use your time. Awareness is always the first step toward improvement. When you understand where your time goes, you can begin making better choices. Remember, nobody manages their time perfectly every single day. Even highly successful people have days when things do not go according to plan. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. Every small improvement in the way you use your time creates a better future. You do not have to change your entire life overnight. Start with one small habit, remain consistent, and allow those small improvements to grow into lasting success. That brings us to the end of the first part of today's podcast. In the next section, we will explore practical time management techniques that students, professionals, and entrepreneurs use to become more productive. We will also discuss common mistakes people make every day without realizing how much time they are losing. Stay with me because we have much more to learn together. In the first part of today's episode, we talked about why time is one of the most valuable things in our lives and why learning to manage it can completely change our future. Now let's move from understanding the importance of time management to learning practical ways to improve it. These are simple techniques that students, professionals, entrepreneurs, and successful people around the world use every day. The good news is that you do not need to be rich, highly educated, or naturally organized to use these methods. Anyone can learn them with a little practice and consistency. The first step in managing your time is knowing exactly what you want to achieve. Imagine that you are going on a journey. Before you start driving, you usually enter the destination into a GPS or look at a map. Without a destination, you could drive for hours without reaching the place you actually wanted to visit. Life works in a similar way. If you wake up every morning without clear goals, you may stay busy all day but still feel as if you accomplished very little. A goal gives your day direction. It helps you decide what deserves your attention and what can wait until later. Many people make the mistake of creating goals that are too large. For example, someone might say, "I want to become fluent in English." While this is an excellent goal, it is also very broad. It can feel overwhelming because fluency takes time. A better approach is to divide that large goal into many smaller goals. Instead of focusing only on becoming fluent, you can decide to learn 10 new words every day. Listen to an English podcast for 20 minutes, read one page of an English book each evening, or practice speaking for 15 minutes every morning. These small actions may seem simple, but they create powerful results over time. Think about building a house. No one builds an entire house in one day. Workers begin by preparing the land, then they lay the foundation. After that, they build the walls, install the roof, add the windows, paint the rooms, and finally complete the finishing touches. Every step depends on the previous one. If someone tried to build the roof before building the walls, the project would fail. Our personal goals work exactly the same way. Big achievements are built from many small actions completed consistently over weeks, months, and years. Another useful habit is planning your day before it begins. Many successful people spend just 5 or 10 minutes every evening preparing for the next day. They write down the most important tasks they need to complete. This simple habit saves a surprising amount of time because they do not waste the morning deciding what to do first. Instead, they begin working immediately. Imagine waking up and already knowing exactly what needs to be done. Your mind feels calmer because you have a clear plan instead of facing uncertainty. One popular idea in time management is called the most important task. The concept is very simple. At the beginning of each day, identify the single task that will make the biggest positive difference if you complete it. Finish that task before moving on to less important activities whenever possible. Some people spend their mornings checking emails, scrolling through social media, or completing very small jobs simply because they are easy. By the afternoon, they have become tired, and the truly important work remains unfinished. Focusing on your most important task first helps you make real progress every day. There is another interesting principle known as the 80-20 rule, sometimes called the Pareto principle. It suggests that a small number of activities often produce the majority of our results. For example, perhaps 20% of your study methods help you remember 80% of what you learn. Or maybe 20% of your customers generate 80% of your business income. The exact numbers are not always perfect, but the idea is valuable. Instead of trying to do everything equally, ask yourself which activities create the greatest results. Spend more time on those activities and less time on things that have very little impact. Let's imagine two English learners. Sarah spends 3 hours every evening changing the colors of her notebook, buying expensive pens, and organizing her study desk. She enjoys preparing to study, but she actually spends very little time listening, reading, or speaking English. Her friend Daniel uses a simple notebook and an ordinary pen. Instead of making everything look perfect, he spends most of his time listening to podcasts, reading articles, and practicing conversations. After 6 months, Daniel has improved much more because he focused on activities that produced real learning, rather than activities that only looked productive. Another powerful idea is something called Parkinson's law. This principle says that work expands to fill the amount of time available for its completion. Imagine your teacher gives you 1 month to write a short essay. Many students delay starting because they believe they have plenty of time. Then, during the final 2 or 3 days, they suddenly work very hard and finish the essay. Now, imagine the same teacher gives only 3 days to complete the assignment. Surprisingly, many students still manage to finish it. The amount of work is similar, but the available time changes the way people use it. This teaches us that setting shorter personal deadlines can often increase our focus and reduce procrastination. One practical method that many people enjoy is the Pomodoro technique. The idea is simple. Choose one task and work on it with complete concentration for 25 minutes. During those 25 minutes, avoid checking your phone, reading messages, or switching to another activity. After the work session ends, take a short 5-minute break. Stretch your body, drink some water, or walk around the room. Then begin another 25-minute session. After completing 4 sessions, take a longer break. This method works well because it helps people stay focused without feeling exhausted. Distractions are one of the biggest enemies of good time management. Modern technology is wonderful in many ways. We can communicate with people across the world, learn new skills online, and find information within seconds. However, technology also competes for our attention every minute of the day. Notifications appear on our phones, messages arrive from friends. Social media platforms constantly suggest new videos to watch. Without realizing it, we can lose hours every week simply by responding to these distractions. One helpful strategy is to turn off unnecessary notifications while you are studying or working. Even 1 hour of uninterrupted focus can produce amazing results. Your physical environment also affects how well you manage your time. Imagine trying to study in a noisy room while the television is playing loudly and people are talking around you. Concentrating becomes difficult. On the other hand, a clean and quiet workspace makes it easier to think clearly. Your study area does not need to be perfect or expensive. A simple desk, good lighting, and a comfortable chair are often enough. The important thing is creating an environment that supports your goals instead of distracting you from them. Many people underestimate the importance of sleep when talking about productivity. They believe sleeping less will give them more time to work. In reality, the opposite often happens. A tired brain works more slowly, makes more mistakes, and struggles to remember information. Someone who sleeps well for 7 or 8 hours may complete important work in 2 focused hours, while a tired person might spend 4 hours achieving the same result. Good time management is not only about organizing your schedule, it is also about taking care of your physical and mental health so that your time is used effectively. As you listen to this podcast today, I encourage you to choose just one idea from this section and begin using it tomorrow. You do not need to change everything at once. Perhaps you will start planning your day the night before. Maybe you will try the Pomodoro technique, or perhaps you will decide to complete your most important task first every morning. One small improvement, repeated consistently, can lead to remarkable changes over the coming months. In the next part of our podcast, we will explore some of the biggest wasting habits that prevent people from reaching their goals. We will also discuss how successful individuals protect their time, stay disciplined, and build routines that help them succeed in school, work, business, and everyday life. Stay with me because our journey into mastering time management has only just begun. We learned why time is more valuable than money, how setting goals can give direction to our lives, and how simple techniques like planning, prioritizing important tasks, and using focused work methods can help us become more productive. In this part, we're going to talk about something that affects almost everyone: time wasters. These are activities and habits that quietly steal our time without us noticing. Sometimes we lose minutes. Sometimes we lose hours, and sometimes these small losses become years of missed opportunities. The first step to improving your time management is understanding where your time goes. Many people say, "I don't have enough time." They say this because they feel busy all day, but when they carefully look at their daily activities, they often discover that they actually have more free time than they thought. The problem is not always a lack of time. The problem is how that time is being used. Imagine someone receives $1,000 every month. If they spend small amounts of money every day without paying attention, they may suddenly reach the end of the month and wonder where all their money went. Time works in the same way. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and 30 minutes somewhere else may not seem important at the moment, but these small moments add up. A person who wastes 30 minutes every day loses more than 180 hours in a year. That is enough time to learn a new skill, read many books, improve a language, or create something valuable. One of the biggest time wasters in the modern world is excessive use of smartphones. Smartphones are incredible tools. They help us communicate, learn, work, and solve problems. However, they can also become one of the biggest distractions in our lives. Many people check their phones immediately after waking up. Before they even get out of bed, they're already looking at messages, news, videos, and social media posts. This simple habit can affect the entire day because the first thing we give our attention to often influences our mindset. For example, imagine you wake up early in the morning. You planned to exercise, study English, or work on an important project, but you decide to check your phone for just 5 minutes. You open a social media app, watch a few videos, and read some comments. Suddenly, 30 minutes have passed. Now you feel like you are already behind schedule. Because you started the day with distraction, you may continue making poor choices throughout the day. This does not mean social media is bad. Social media has many benefits. It allows people to share knowledge, build businesses, connect with friends, and discover new ideas. The problem is not using social media. The problem is using it without control. A person who controls technology can use it as a tool, but a person who cannot control their technology may become controlled by it. A useful question to ask yourself is, am I using this technology or is this technology using me? This simple question can help you become more aware of your habits. Before opening an app, ask yourself why you are opening it. Are you searching for useful information? Are you communicating with someone important? Or are you simply avoiding a task that you need to complete? Another major time waster is multitasking. Many people believe that doing several things at the same time makes them more productive. They think they can answer messages, watch a video, study, and complete work all together. However, research shows that constantly switching between tasks reduces focus and efficiency. Our brains work best when we concentrate on one thing at a time. Think about someone trying to cook dinner while also answering important emails and talking on the phone. They may believe they are saving time, but they are actually dividing their attention. The food might burn, the email may contain mistakes, and the conversation may not receive proper attention. Doing multiple things at once often creates more problems that require extra time to fix. Successful people understand the power of deep focus. They know that 1 hour of complete concentration can be more valuable than 3 hours of distracted work. When you focus completely on one important task, you enter a state where your mind can work at its best. This is why many successful writers, entrepreneurs, scientists, and artists protect their quiet working time. Another common problem is saying yes to too many things. Many people struggle with this because they want to help others or they want people to like them. They accept every request, every invitation, and every opportunity. While being helpful is a wonderful quality, accepting too many responsibilities can create stress and prevent you from focusing on your own goals. Imagine your time is like a small garden. You only have a limited space to grow plants. If you plant too many seeds without enough space, water, and sunlight, none of the plants will grow properly. Your time is similar. If you fill every moment with too many activities, you may not have enough energy to do anything well. Learning to say no is an important part of personal growth. Saying no does not mean you are rude or selfish. It means you understand your priorities. Successful people protect their time because they know their time is connected to their goals and dreams. Another reason people waste time is because they wait for motivation. They say things like, "I will start when I feel motivated." The problem is that motivation is not always present. Some days we feel energetic and excited. Other days we feel tired and lazy. If we only work when we feel motivated, we will not make consistent progress. This is where discipline becomes important. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. Motivation can help you start, but discipline helps you continue. Think about successful athletes. They don't train every day because they always feel excited. Some days they are tired. Some days they don't want to practice, but they continue because they understand that small daily actions create success. The same principle applies to learning English, building a career, improving health, or achieving any important goal. Many people look at successful individuals and only see the final result. They see the successful business, the beautiful lifestyle, or the achievement. They do not see the thousands of hours of practice, learning, mistakes, and discipline behind that success. Success is usually not created by one big decision. It is created by many small decisions repeated over a long period of time. Waking up 30 minutes earlier, reading a few pages every day, practicing a skill regularly, saving a small amount of money. These actions may seem insignificant today, but they create a completely different future. Building good habits is one of the strongest ways to manage your time. A habit is something you do regularly without needing a lot of effort or decision-making. Good habits make success easier because they reduce the amount of energy needed to make the right choice. For example, if you make studying English a daily habit, you do not need to ask yourself every day, "Should I study today?" It becomes a normal part of your routine. Just like brushing your teeth or eating breakfast, it becomes something you naturally do. Creating habits requires patience. Many people quit because they expect immediate results. They exercise for 1 week and expect a completely different body. They study English for 1 month and expect perfect fluency. They start a business for a few months and expect huge profits. Real progress takes time. A farmer does not plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. They water it, protect it, and wait patiently. Growth happens slowly beneath the surface before we can see the results. Personal development works the same way. One powerful habit for better time management is creating a morning routine. The way you start your morning often influences the rest of your day. A good morning routine does not need to be complicated. It could include drinking water, exercising, reading, planning your day, or spending a few quiet minutes thinking about your goals. Another important habit is reviewing your day. Before going to sleep, take a few minutes to ask yourself some questions. What did I accomplish today? What could I improve tomorrow? Did I spend my time on things that really matter? This reflection helps you learn from your experiences and gradually become better at managing your time. Remember, time management is not about becoming a robot who works all day without rest. It is about using your limited time in a way that creates a meaningful and balanced life. The goal is not to do more things. The goal is to do the right things. As we continue this podcast, we will explore how to create a powerful daily schedule, how to balance work and personal life, how successful people organize their days, and how you can design a lifestyle that supports your dreams. Thank you for staying with me during this part of the English Paper Podcast. Keep practicing your English, keep learning, and remember that every minute you invest in yourself is an investment in your future. In the next part, we will continue our journey and discover how to create a practical time management system that you can use every single day.